Today, there is significant news from the Pokrovsk direction in Donetsk Oblast. Perched on high ground, Shvchenko secures Ukraine's line around Pokrovsk, disrupting Russian supply and advancing routes to the west. Here, the battle for Shvchenko is reaching a new intensity, as Russian commanders have thrown hundreds of soldiers into the Ukrainian meat grinder. Ukrainians are turning this determination back, against them driving a spear into Russian advancements while securing a ring of fortresses around the town. Russian forces have been funneling reinforcements into the area in constant waves, often large infantry groups aimed at disrupting clearing operations and preventing Ukrainians from consolidating control. Russian troops are using the tree belts near the local railway to approach Shvchenko with some cover from Ukrainian drones. But this tactic is proving increasingly costly. With so many units packed into narrow corridors and exposed to coordinated drone and artillery strikes, Russian losses are mounting. Meanwhile, the front line inside the settlement remains fluid, marked by brutal close-quarters combat and drone strikes as seen in numerous geolocated videos. The action is relentless. Positions are often taken and retaken within hours, as both sides fight for control of buildings, streets, and basements. Still, Ukrainian momentum continues to build. At the heart of this push is the Ukrainian Skala Regiment, a battle-hardened unit that has become the tip of the spear in Ukraine's Pokrovsk counteroffensive. Known for its precision, adaptability, and integration of drone warfare into frontline tactics, the Scala Regiment has been repeatedly deployed to lead critical breakthroughs. Their operations in Shvchenko have been instrumental in slicing through Russian defenses, with the unit publishing geolocated videos showcasing their deadly efficiency. Russian losses have been staggering, with over 1,100 troops killed in and around Shvchenko alone. Ukrainian infantry, supported by drone operators, have turned the village into a death trap for invading units. As a result, these losses are especially damaging given the broader context of the Pokrovsk front, where Russia has deployed around 70,000 troops, making it one of their most heavily reinforced sectors. Yet, with Ukraine's counteroffensive applying sustained pressure, Russian commanders have been forced to redeploy even more units to hold the line. Despite being outnumbered, Ukrainian forces are proving that numbers alone don't determine victory. Their effective use of drones, artillery, and tightly coordinated infantry maneuvers allows them to inflict disproportionate losses, turning technological advantages and battlefield experience into a deadly edge. Russia may still have the manpower, but losses like those in Shvchenko are not easily replaced, while Ukraine must use its available forces, judiciously balancing offensive thrusts with the need to hold fortified lines. Overall, as the fight for Shvchenko continues, Ukrainian command remains focused on clearing the entire western flank around Pokrovsk. If Ukrainian troops can fully secure Shvchenko, it will mark a major step forward tactically and for the defense of Pokrovsk as a whole. With control of the high ground, Ukraine would be well positioned to dominate enemy movements during the muddy spring months, placing Russia's offensive ambitions at serious risk of becoming bogged down both literally and strategically. At the same time, Ukrainians continue their counteroffensive to fully recapture the key settlement of Shvchenko, strategically located on elevated terrain. It plays a critical role in the broader Ukrainian plan to establish a fortified defense line around Pokrovsk on the high ground. With the infamous mud season intensifying, low-lying areas will soon become swampy traps bogging down Russian troop movements and turning supply runs into logistical nightmares. In contrast, Ukrainian forces aim to establish fortified positions on drier, more manageable terrain, with direct and secure lines to Pokrovsk itself. In this way, they hope to turn the seasonal shift into a strategic advantage. Russians stuck in the mud below, limited to pushing forward infantry on foot, or even using donkeys to carry supplies while Ukrainians maintain control from above. Currently, Shvchenko remains a fiercely contested battleground. After breaking through Russian lines and entering the settlement, Ukrainian units moved quickly to cut off Russian reinforcement routes. However, Russian commanders clearly understand the settlement's importance and are determined not to let it go without a fight. In the early hours of Friday, April 25th, Russian authorities reported a drone attack on the town of Shuya in the Ivanova region. Shuya is located approximately 950 kilometers, 600 miles, from the Ukrainian border and about 300 kilometers, 190 miles, northeast of Moscow. According to the Russian telegram channel ASDRA, residents heard early morning sirens followed by explosions. Around 3:30 a.m., the local administration confirmed that a UAV attack was being repelled over the city. This is said to be the third drone attack on Shuya in the past 2 weeks. Russia's Ministry of Defense claimed that its air defense systems shot down 79 drones overnight, including one over the Ivanova region, and as usual Moscow blamed Ukraine for the attack. HUR said Russian forces fired 2 Iskander-M ballistic missiles armed with cluster munition warheads, one launched from Russia's Kursk region and another from Belgorod. On April 16th, Russian sources reported that the 112th Missile Brigade in Shuya was targeted by drones in retaliation for the Suma strike on Palm Sunday. Explosions were heard in the city, with witnesses filming the moment drones flew over and struck, followed by plumes of smoke rising above Shuya. The following night, on April 17th, the brigade's positions were targeted once more, this time starting a fire. However, a source within Ukraine's defense forces confirmed that HUR carried out both strikes on April 16th and 17th using domestically produced Ludi drones, and said that the operation had achieved its objectives.